My name is Nadia. I'm the founder of Volta Presentation. We are an organic farm in the Volta region. We started in 2012 to farm organic vegetables. I mean, what's the point of eating vegetables that are not safe, right? So we had a box model where we would harvest different vegetables and put them into this one box and distribute it to customers across Accra. And we did it for about 5 years, painfully. It was a great model. We had a lot of demand. We had people on waiting lists for like 3 years. I remember there was one time I went into a shop and I met someone and we exchanged numbers. And when the person got my number, it was on Truecaller, and it came up my name with the company. And the person was like, I've been waiting for your vegetables for the last 2 years. So, I mean, the model was great. A lot of people wanted what we had, but we had a big problem on the field side. Somehow we could not produce sustainably without a reasonable amount of loss levels, our vegetables. So after about 5 years of crying, we decided to go back to our original idea, which was to produce a semi-processed food or a processed food, something that wasn't as perishable as vegetables. And it brought us to our tea. So after 5 years of growing vegetables organically, then we moved towards tea production. And this is the tea we have now, Guaman Infusions. So FDA says we cannot call ourselves a tea. We have to call ourselves an infusion, right? Because we're using particular plants or vegetables, and then we're processing that into a tea, so into an infusion. So we are growing things like moringa, mint, hibiscus, ginger, soursop, and noni, which are more hardy crops, a lot easier to grow than vegetables. They were just way too delicate. So we grow them. They give or take. No, everyone's different. Every one of these plants are different. We grow them and then we harvest them. We have a dryer. We're one of the few companies in the country to have a container dryer. So we dry it and it runs through our production chain, which is then we mill it and we bag it and we package it. All in the Volta region, everything is done in Ghana. Everything, 100% proudly Ghanaian, literally. Some of our challenges are, the first thing is we're a farm, right? And which means that we're dealing with nature, really. Especially because we're an organic farm, so we're not having synthetic applications to assist us with yield or with weedicides or with pests, okay? So the first thing is we're dealing with nature. So if the rains don't come on time, even though we're using irrigation, but we still want to work with nature as much as possible. If the rains don't come on time, or if we're having a drought, or if there's a particular time when something is meant to happen with nature and it doesn't, or the other way around, something is happening while it's not meant to happen. So that's the first big problem, or first big challenge, okay? Then I suppose the second thing, which is probably the major thing, is the people on the farm. So I'm not talking about our managers or our supervisors. Our farmhands, our casuals, the people that work in our mini factory, the tea making factory, not all of them are educated or even educated at all, you know. Getting them to understand the level of detail and care for the crops that we grow, particularly the kind of crops that we're growing and the manner in which we're growing them. It's a problem. We focus a lot on quality from the field, period, right? And then if you're meant to cut something at a 45-degree angle, 60 centimeters above the ground, a lot of training goes into it, and training people to understand why it is important to do things in a certain manner. It's tough. It's tough because culturally our society doesn't always support that. So we try to have a good culture on the farm, but it doesn't always transcend to what happens when everybody goes back home, right? When we're meant to harvest, okay, everyone has to be at the farm at a certain time. We would usually have the men come earlier than the women because it's too dark for the women. But if we don't harvest at a certain time, then we put the things in the dryer too late, right? So it has a profound effect on the entire chain, right? And none of those things can be taken lightly. So we have the field, right? And then we have, thankfully, in the last couple of years, things have normalized with our power situation. I can't say that about today with the power cuts, but it was really tough a couple of years ago with the whole Doomstar thing. It's crazy. I've been made to understand that Ghana has one of the highest rates for electricity in West Africa. Apart from that, I mean, we're running, it's small manufacturing, and we're not doing something of mass product. We're not having a juice pack or something that's widely drank by everyone all the time, right? So we have to work more with margins as opposed to volume. And when we're working with margins, because we're not able to bring down our cost, because we're not working with volumes. Anyway, so power was a huge issue for a couple of years, and that's now thankfully normalized. We don't grow the tea plant in Ghana. It's a particular kind of plant. It doesn't grow here. So what we have here are called infusions. That's what we can grow. It's herbs, plants, vegetables that you can turn into an infusion. So something that you dry, grind, package it, and then it can be drank with warm water or hot water. Everything is being done in-house. Everything is being done by Ghanaians. We believe in Ghanaians. We believe that we can do pretty much everything by ourselves. We've had training before from people that come outside of Ghana, but that's mainly been about using the machines, because some of our machines are imported. Or when there have been issues with using the machines, so people come, they do the installation whatsoever, whatever needs to be done. But on the field, it's Ghanaians, Ghanaian employees, Ghanaian team members, Ghanaian supervisors, Ghanaian managers. In our production facility, Ghanaian production manager, food nutritionist, and the people that we need are Ghanaian. Our farm, currently the person managing the operations on the farm, so someone who overlooks it, is from West Africa, but has spent a significant amount of time in Ghana. We really believe in the fact that we can do things ourselves. It's very possible. Also, just more on the business side, we're still pretty young. Not that it is absolutely necessary to have a foreigner or an expat, which do an amazing job in Ghana, but we need to cut our costs or keep them low, and having somebody from outside can have a significant impact on our salary base as well. We have 7 infusions right now. Before the end of the year, we'll have another 2 members of the team join us, so we'll be 9. Probably by the end of next year, we'll be looking at somewhere between 11 and 15. We're looking at introducing new flavors with soursop, which we're cultivating pretty successfully. We have over 2,000 soursop plants on our farm right now. Soursop trees on our farm right now. We would be adding noni as well, and we'll be using that together with the current flavors that we're having to create a bigger family. At the moment, we're always using 2 ingredients. We're looking at, by the end of this year, having 3 and sometimes 4 ingredients in the tea. What the future looks like for us is, apart from growing our family of infusions, we're looking at other foods that seem interesting. I'm not gonna spoil it yet by saying what kind of foods, but we're pretty excited. Yesterday, Fabiola and I had a small product development conversation, and we were brainstorming. It was really good. I think what really makes us very happy and proud about what we are doing is that it's really healthy stuff, and the ingredients that we're using today are considered or termed as superfoods, right? Something like moringa is a huge craze worldwide, especially in the US, the UK, but it's a real thing, and it's a big deal in terms of fluff, but it really is a good thing. Things like soursop, soursop and noni are drank for its medicinal purposes, and people focus more on the fruit, but what a lot of people don't realize is that the leaves are actually a lot more potent, significantly more potent than the actual fruits. And we're really looking forward to adding that as an ingredient, because that's what we're using. We're using the leaves to create a powder, and then we fill it with our tea bags. So we're looking at making people healthier in an easy way.
So my name is Fabiola. I'm the marketing manager of Guaman Infusion. So, of the whole company, Water Presentation, but for now, just focus on Guaman Infusion because it's our main brand. It's a brand of tea, but typically infusions. So we have about 7 teas at the moment, plus moringa powder as well, making our actual product 8 products. So for all the products we have the 7 flavors. We have moringa, that is moringa infusion only, nothing added. We have moringa and hibiscus. We have moringa and ginger. We have moringa and lemongrass. We have also ginger only, ginger hibiscus, ginger and lemongrass. To really appreciate tea that is an infusion, because they are tea and then there are tea that are called infusion. So the tea has the plant and the tea has other main house of tea, that is Oregon tea, black tea, and then our products are normally called herbal tea because they are more natural from plants, so they are herbal tea. So in Ghana, to come back to what we are saying, first of all, they didn't really, from the beginning, they didn't really know what was it, because they don't understand. Many people don't understand what is infusion. So, and is on the label infusion. So they are a bit confused. So we have to explain sometimes that infusion is the same thing as a tea. And then with time, people do now understand that. And then the feedback is pretty good because, first of all, it's organic, it's natural, and it's probably made in Ghana. We have many outlets. So to say some, we have supermarket, we have spa, we have pharmacies. Like to come back to the supermarket, we have Koala. So all the Koala branch, Maxmart branch, Palace branch, Marina Mall. And then for the pharmacies, we have equity pharmacies. We have also small retail shop that sell organic, like farmers market, that is new also. So we have all our product in the farmers market. We have NS Chemist as our pharmacy as well, many, and then some spa as well that we sell our products. The best-selling product for our consumer, and there's the best-selling for our customers. So for the consumer, the best-selling is sometimes the moringa hibiscus. For the customers is moringa and ginger. So that is how it moves. The best way to enjoy Guaman Infusion, there are 2 ways. For me, there are 2 ways. Once you are upset, you are stressed, you want to get away from whatever is happening, so you take Guaman Infusion. So you take some 5 minutes of your time, you drink your tea, and you feel like, apart from stress and all this thing, there's something else. There's silence, there's meditation. And then there's also the type where you are very excited, you want to celebrate, and then you take Guaman Infusion.